So our angle is defined, the angle through which the earth must turn to bring the meridian of a point directly in the sun's with the sun's rays. This is the sun's rays and it is measured at the time of the day with respect to solar noon. Solar noons are two types. They are positive noon and negative noon. Negative noon is known as afternoon and positive noon as morning section. At omega equal to 0, that is solar noon, and omega equal to 15 degrees per hour, it is morning section. So solar local time can be obtained by using standard time. We can observe on a clock by applying corrections due to difference in longitude between the location and meridian on which the standard time is based, and also the magnitude of 4 minutes for every degree difference in longitude. So longitude, due to difference in longitude between location and meridian, which location and where is the meridian on which the standard time is based. So first one this, and the magnitude of 4 minutes for every degree difference in longitude. Due to equation of time, as the Earth's orbit and rate of rotation are subject to small permutations. These two are the local time standard timings observed, we can observe on a clock. And local solar time, that is LST, equal to formula, we have formula standard time plus or minus 4 into standard time longitude minus longitude of location plus equation of time correction. Here already we told, due to difference in longitude between a location and meridian on which the standard time is based, and also magnitude of 4 minutes for every degree difference. So the formula magnitude of 4 minutes standard time longitude minus longitude of location plus equation of time correction. The negative sign is applicable for eastern hemisphere and positive cycle is applicable for northern hemisphere. Okay, so our angle equal to omega equal to 15 into 12 minus local solar solar time. For problem, determine our angle for 9 a.m. Our angle omega equal to 15 into 12 minus LST. This is the formula. Our angle omega equal to 15 into 12 minus LST. So మనం determine చేయమంటే our angle for 9 a.m. కి find out చేయమన్నారు. So omega equal to 15 into 12 minus LST. 9 a.m. omega equal to 15 into 12 minus LST means how much time? 9 a.m. So 9. 15 into 12 minus 9 equal to 45 degrees. And also determine the hour angle for 11 a.m. Omega equal to 15 into 12 minus LST. LST here, LST means again 11 a.m. So 11. 12 minus 11, 1. 1 into 15, 15 degrees. So omega equal to 15 degrees. And determine the hour angle for 9 a.m., 11 a.m. and 2 a.m., 2 p.m. So 2 means 14. Omega equal to 15 into 12 minus 14. That means minus 30 degrees. That means here negative sign is applicable for eastern hemisphere. So here this is eastern hemisphere. And 430. 4 means 16 and 430 means 16.5. So omega equal to 15 into 12 minus 16.5 equal to minus 67.5 degrees. And next one, altitude angle. So altitude angle is denoted by the letter alpha. Altitude angle also known as solar altitude, and it is defined as vertical angle between the projection of sun rays on the horizontal plane on Earth's surface and the direction of the sun rays. Vertical angle between Critical angle between projection of sun rays. Projection of sun rays horizontal plane, on horizontal plane on Earth's surface and direction of the sun's rays is known as altitude angle. The altitude angle is maximum at solar noon. This is altitude angle. This is sun ray and this is position of the observer. Suppose this is vertical angle, this is horizontal angle, horizontal plane, normal surface, apparent sun path. This is vertical angle between projection of the sun. This is the sun's rays on the horizontal plane. We are using on earth surface and the direction of this direction of sun rays is called as altitude angle. Is called as this is altitude angle, and this altitude angle alpha is maximum when at solar noon. At solar noon. And the next one is zenith angle. Zenith angle is denoted by the letter theta suffix z. Angle is denoted by the letter theta and zenith is denoted by the letter z. So total zenith angle is denoted by the letter theta suffix z. So zenith angle theta z is defined as complementary angle of solar altitude angle. Solar altitude angle. So the theta z equal to the formula for zenith angle theta z equal to pi by 2 minus alpha. Pi by 2 minus alpha means here altitude angle. Theta z equal to pi by 2 minus alpha means altitude angle. So we are taking horizontal plane and sun's rays and a position of the observer and position of the observer. This is the normal surface. Normal surface name is P. The sun's rays will beam on a plane or on a ground. Position of the observer is vertical angle between sun's rays and a line perpendicular to the horizontal plane through a point. So this is called as theta z. This is theta z, beta omega. And angle between the beam from the sun and the vertical. Angle between beam from the sun and the vertical. So theta z equal to pi by 2 minus alpha, the formula. And solar azimuth angle. Solar azimuth angle is defined as solar angle in degrees. Solar angle in degrees along the horizon east or west of north. So this is north side. This is again position of the observer on horizontal plane. This is normal surface P. Solar angle in degrees along the horizon east or west of north surface. It is a horizontal angle measured from north to horizontal plane of sun's rays. Here we are seeing in this figure horizontal angle measured from north to horizontal projection of sun's rays. It will be created positive west or negative west. So this is solar azimuth angle gamma. So azimuth angle is denoted by the letter gamma and solar azimuth angle is denoted by gamma suffix s. So this is suffix gamma suffix s. and it is considered positive westwise. And the relation between basic solar angles. The basic, there are three types of basic solar angles. They are latitude of location, that is phi or L, and declination, that is delta or small d, and our angle omega or h. Already last classes we have discussed. And derived of solar angles, altitude angle alpha, zenith angle theta z, and solar azimuth angle gamma s. So in this figure we have seen sun's rays will beam on earth. This is the P projected. We have seen where is theta, delta, omega, and alpha, theta z, and gamma s. This is north pole and this is the equatorial plane. And the formula is cos theta z equal to cos phi in cos omega cos delta plus sin phi into sin delta equal to, and it is also can be written as sin alpha cos sin omega sin delta plus cos phi cos delta, as theta z equal to pi by 2 minus alpha అయినప్పుడు మాత్రం మనకి ఈ ఫార్ములా వస్తుంది. అండ్ కాస్ ఒమేగా డెల్టా ఎస్ ఈక్వల్ టు secant alpha into cos phi sin delta minus cos delta sin phi cos omega, and sin gamma s equal to secant alpha cos delta and sin omega. These are formulas for derived of solar angles. And the last one is slope. And the slope is slope is defined as angle made by the plane surface with the horizontal. Either it is positive surface or negative surface. Angle made by the plane surface with the horizontal. There are two slopes. The two horizontal surfaces, they are positive and negative. Positive side for surfaces sloping towards south side, for negative side for surfaces sloping towards north side. Positive side means surfaces sloping towards south side, and negative side means surfaces sloping towards north side. This is the sun and this is equatorial plane tilting surface. This is a tilting surface. When the sun beam on the equatorial plane, it will be reflected and also some particles are scattered. The slope is, this is slope. This is slope side. This is the equatorial plane. We are taking A, B, etc. the plane A, B, C, D, E, F and E, Q, P. This is the plane is A to S. Clearly observe to our figure. And angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is theta. It is denoted by the letter theta. When tilted surfaces are involved, we are seen in the figure, tilted surfaces, angle of incidence is angle between sun's rays and also normal surface consideration. This is surface on earth. This is one of the object on the surface of the earth. The sun rays will be on surface on earth, and normal surface to consideration. The angle between sun's rays and normal surface is theta. That is nothing but normal angle between sun's rays and sun's beam and also normal to the sun rays is known as theta. Theta is nothing but angle of incidence. Surface azimuth angle. This surface azimuth angle is denoted by the letter gamma. For tidal surfaces, this is for when the tidal surface is involved. This is tidal surfaces are involved. Surface azimuth angle, deviation of the normal to the surface from local meridian. Here you are seeing in this figure. It is the angle between normal surface or normal to the wall to the surface and south. This is south face. For south facing, gamma equal to, that means surface azimuth angle equal to 0 degrees. For west facing, surface azimuth angle equal to 90 degrees. Here we are seeing in this figure 90 degrees. And eastward positive and westward negative. Eastwards we are seeing positive and westward negative. This is the object. Sun's rays will be beam on this particle. Sun's rays, the angle between sun's rays and on this object, that it is gamma. And the general equation for angle of incidence is theta equal to cos theta equal to sin phi 1 sin delta cos s plus sin phi 1 into sin delta cos s plus cos delta cos gamma cos omega sin s plus cos phi 1 cos delta cos omega cos s minus sin delta cos gamma sin s plus cos delta sin omega sin gamma sin s. So declination is delta, latitude is phi, and the surface of azimuth angle is gamma, and our angle is omega, and slope is s. This is formula for general equation of angle of incidence. These are used in for problems. And day length. Day length means since omega is equal to 15 degrees per hour, and day length in hours is td equal to 2 omega s by 15. That is 2 by 15 into cos inverse into minus tan phi into tan delta. Thus day length is a function of latitude phi and solar declination delta. So theta will be taken as latitude and solar declination is phi. And the next topic is solstice and equinox. Define, what is the definition of solstice? Solstice is defined as, it is a point during the S orbit around the sun at which the sun is at its greatest distance from the equator. S orbit around the sun at which the sun is at greatest distance from the equator. And the equinox means closest distance from the equator. And closest distance from the equator. S orbit around the sun at which closest distance from the equator. And each year there are two solstices and two equinoxes. While they are both signify a change of season, they are two incredibly different seasons. Different seasons or opposite seasons. Different same seasons or opposite seasons. And equinox is an event that happens twice a year And also solstice is an event that happens twice a year. And that because during an equinox it believed that all areas of the earth surface experience an equal amount of daylight and also equal amount of darkness. That means 12 hours each. In equinox, in autumn season, the equinox means September 21st is in the northern hemisphere, and in spring season the equinox March 20 or 21. It varies from year to year. It is in the southern hemisphere. So the equinox are the times of the year where the part of the earth closest to the sun is the equator, exact equator. Earth closest to the sun is the exact equator. When everything is aligned everywhere from the north pole to the south pole, it will get same amount of sunlight. But only on those two equinoxes in September and March, the exact dates of which might change up to 3 days depending upon year. Depending upon year. Everywhere from north pole to south pole will get the same sunlight. Will get the same sunlight, but only on those two equinoxes in September and March the exact dates might change up to 3 days depending on years. And solstice. Solstice is an event that also happens twice a year, and solstice meaning sun. The way we understanding is dated describes the moment of the sun reaches its northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. Solstice means when the sun's path is fastest from the equator. In northern hemisphere, the summer solstice happens in June. In June, and in southern hemisphere, the solstice happens in December. Hence, the seasons are reversed in each hemisphere. So the winter solstice, December 21st, is the shortest day of the year, while the summer solstice, June 21st, is the longest day of the year also. Okay, so in northern hemisphere, the summer solstice happens in June, and solstice happens in December. And so the seasons are reversed in each hemisphere. So the winter season, December 21st is the shortest day of the year, while the summer solstice, June 21st is the longest day of the year also. It will be reversed sometimes. So we are discussing solstice means the biggest difference solstice and the equinox is solstice is there's orbit around the sun at which the sun is its greatest distance from the equator, while during an equinox is the closest distance from the equator. Because of this, why? Because one solstice is extremely long day and other is an extremely short day. Comparatively, during an equinox, the days and nights are equal lengths. That's why the easiest way to describe our experience, this is solstice and this is equinoxes. While their effects might be greater, we really notice from Earth is the amount of daylight we receive. And even that, since the effects are so slight, it might be increases. So North Pole to South Pole, we get the same amount of sunlight, but only on those two equinoxes. In September to March also, the exact might change up to 3 days depending upon year. So North Pole to South Pole, the same amount of sunlight will get, but only on those two equinoxes, September and March, the exact days of which might change up to 3 years depending upon year. And so this is solstice and equinox figure. This figure shows the Earth in its orbit around the Sun on four different dates and important dates: June solstice, September equinox, December solstice, and March equinox. Angle of Earth's axis in relation to the elliptical plane and North Star on these four dates remain unchanged. This is winter season. This is spring season. Rotation. December, next March, next June, and next September. September to December. December to March, March to June, June to September. Dates 21, 22, 20, 21, 22, 23. They exact dates will not remain each other, remain changed. 20 to 23. Either it is 20, 21, or 22 or 23. So we are taking December. So December is solstice and March is equinox. Again June is solstice and September is equinox. So two equinoxes and two solstices throughout the year. The angle between them is 23.5 degrees for each equinox and each solstice. This is the sun. Solstice and equinox. The relation position of the Earth's axis to the sun does not change during the cycle. Already we are seeing this figure. And this is responsible for annual changes in the height of the sun above the horizon and also causes seasons by controlling the intensity and duration of sunlight received by locations on Earth. So seasons may change. It is the March equinox or March solstice and June equinox, September solstice, December equinox. It may change also. So cycle changes relative position on a Earth's axis. It also causes by seasons. And also another figure, solstice and equinox. In an overhead view of the same phenomena, one can see how circle illumination changes its position on Earth's surface. During two equinoxes, the circle of illumination cuts North Pole and South Pole. On June solstice, we are seeing in this figure. On June solstice, the circle of illumination is tangent to the Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle 66.5 degrees north. And the region above this latitude receiving 24 hours of daylight. The Arctic Circle is in 24 hours of darkness during the December solstice. Here, Arctic Circle. In this figure, we are seeing Arctic Circle. And this is Tropic of Cancer, and this is Equator, and this is Tropic of Capricorn and Arctic Circle. Carefully observe diagrams or figures The information we got: March equinox 20 or 21 Arctic Circle North Pole, and June solstice June 21 or 22, and September equinox September 22 or 23 date, and December solstice December 21 and 22. So we are taking months March to June, June to September, September to December, and December to March. So March to June means this is spring season, and June to September means summer season, and September to December autumn season, and December to March winter season. So illumination changes its position on Earth's surfaces. During two equinoxes, the circle of illumination cuts through North Pole. This is North Pole, cuts through North Pole and the South Pole. This is North Pole and this is South Pole. On June solstice, the circle of illumination is tangent to the Arctic Circle with the position of 66.5 degrees, and the region above latitude receives 24 hours per day, and this is the daylight, and 24 hours of darkness during the December solstice. Already we are discussing autumn season, spring season, summer season. And solstice. Solstice means we are 2 months taken, that means on June 21 or 22, and also on December 21 or 22. So the figure carefully observes, this is June solstice and this is December solstice. This is the sun. So June solstice elliptical to the sun and plane to the December solstice. What are the changes takes place, we can observe. On June 21st or 22nd, also called summer solstice. Okay, already we are discussed in the previous class in northern hemisphere, and it is in northern hemisphere. Earth is positioned. Earth is positioned. Earth is positioned in its orbit to the north pole at an angle of 23.5 degrees towards the sun, and all locations north of the equator having day lengths greater than 12 hours, while other locations south of the equator have day lengths less than 12 hours. So that means 12 hours is morning section and 12 hours night section. Daytime 12 hours and 12 hours night time. This is June 21 or 22 solstice, summer solstice, and December, and we are taking December axis, December solstice for this axis. December means all of you know winter solstice. In this also northern hemisphere. At this position to the south pole. At this position to the south pole. Here at this position to north pole to the sun, and here at this position to the south pole to the sun. And it is also at an angle of 23.5 degrees towards the sun. All locations of the north of the equator having day lengths less than 12 hours, while others all other locations north of the equator having day lengths less than 12 hours, while other locations south of the equator having day lengths exceeding 12 hours. Exceeding 12 hours. So in this time, June solstice, daytime is larger. In December solstice, winter season, night time is larger. And equinox. So equinox on September 22 or 23 called autumnal equinox in a northern hemisphere. Neither pole is tilted toward or away from the sun. In northern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, neither pole is tilted toward or away from the sun. In northern hemisphere, March 20 or 21 marks the vernal equinox or spring season. Once again the poles are not tilted towards or away from the sun. Day lengths on both of these days, regardless of latitude, they are exactly 12 hours. So this is March axis, earth axis, and this is also earth axis. This is the sun. March equinox, and this is the September equinox. And September 22 or 23 are also called autumnal equinox in the northern hemisphere. Neither pole is tilted towards from the sun or away from the sun. So March equinox, and in northern hemisphere, March, this is also northern hemisphere, and equinox also northern hemisphere, and in northern hemisphere March 20 or 21 vernal equinox or spring season. Once again the poles are not tilted towards away from the sun. The day lengths on both of these days, regardless latitude, they're exactly 12 hours. So March equinox is the daytime is larger when compared to September equinox. In September equinox, the night time is larger. So these are solstice and equinox. We are discussing angles and equinox and solstice and equinox in autumn season, in spring season, winter season, and summer season. And the diagrams here shown, which is spheres, either northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. Okay. Okay. The remaining topics are discussed later, tomorrow's class.